aboard. In the direction of travel, doors open on the left.
All right, hi, and welcome to the L Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We have a very special guest with us. She came all the way from Mississippi, y'all.
Yes.
Came all the way from Mississippi to come to Chicago. Such a blessing, such a blessing. So, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Yolanda Crump. I am the owner of BougieWild. BougieWild is a brand that was given to me by the universe. So I'm out here promoting the brand, bringing awareness to what the whole brand mission and purpose is. The brand was designed to empower people. You know, I'm a motivational speaker. Speak about life from a humble, transparent, and vulnerable place. Out here to encourage people to be the best version of yourself. BougieWild slogan is, can't be boxed, free to be me.
Yes, BougieWild. So I'm feeling the BougieWild.
Yes.
Like, so can you explain the bougie part and the wild part?
Okay, you guys. You all are looking at a teenage mom, a high school dropout. I come from Memphis. Memphis was where I was born and raised. Uneducated, poverty background. By the time I was 17 years old, I had 2 children, was a high school dropout, living on my own. I always believed that I could do whatever I put my mind to. I'm just one of those people. And so God has been good to me. I've done 20 years working for the IRS. I am a real estate agent in Tennessee and Mississippi. I own BougieWild, and I had my own party business. So my bougie come from me stepping outside of the box. You know, when you come from that crab barrel, quote unquote, mentality, and you go out in the world and you learn better and you do better, you start changing, you start evolving. Like 2005, I left Memphis. I went out to Atlanta, Dallas. I'm saying living in these places. So my exposure was different. I started seeing things different. You know, coming from the hood, y'all know, from the hood mentality, you start seeing things, I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, I'm supposed to do it this way. So when I would go back home, I started doing things different, and I became labeled bougie. You know, think you know it all. She thinks she better than that. She the bougie one.
So my question, just to break that down, so coming from the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that you learned? Because this began highlighted in social media.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that you was taught in the hood that you thought that was okay, that when you got older, you transitioned? Like, what was some of those things to where you was like, oh, no, this ain't right. I just learned this, and you know, you get what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. Doing the right thing even when nobody's looking. You know, having character and integrity, embodying it. Not trying to get over on people. Mm-hmm. You know, when you come from the hood, you are just trying to survive. Mm-hmm. When you're not used to anything, if you see a piece of crumb, you're gonna snatch it. You know, if you see somebody drop something on the ground, you're gonna take it. You're not gonna say, excuse me, ma'am, mm-hmm. you left this. If you leave your phone, like I came up, I got me a phone. Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, like I said, growing up fast, because I've been on my own since I was 15. So I went out in the world very young and been around different environments, and being around those different environments, like I said, I learned. The universe raised me. Just learn character, integrity, values, you know, morals. And I don't want to speak about it as if I'm condemning like my upbringing, because I'm grateful. I could take $10 and feed my family. You hear me? Buy me some chicken legs, some rice, and some peas. I'm grateful for where I come from, but just waking up to the social norm. Like, I'm bringing awareness to the social norm that we've conformed to. That in it, hood, ghetto mentality environment. It's like being brainwashed, being programmed, like taking your phone and saying, this is what I'm gonna download in you. That's what it was, because I remember being that. So I speak from a humble, transparent, and vulnerable place when I talk about this, not to try to condemn, but to help people understand, man, wake up from it. You don't, that whole mentality, man, ain't a white man holding me down and it's they fault and I can't do this. Man, I had 2 kids at 17. My first one at 15. We can do whatever we put our mind to. I'm proof.
That's real.
I'm proof. Just like driving up here, people, girl, you driving to Chicago by yourself? You going up there by yourself? Shh. I can't wait on nobody to do nothing for me. When you know that the Holy Spirit is in you, you got a responsibility to it. Like, they even condition us in the hood environment. Like I tell people, my mama and them been waiting on God. They waiting on God. They praying and waiting on God. God is in us, through us, as a, you got to get it, baby. You understand me? We got a responsibility to this spirit, because at the end of the day, this flesh gonna be here. This flesh is nothing. It's what you embody in this flesh. It's the light that's in us, that we got the power to do whatever we put our mind to.
I definitely agree. I agree with that. Now, I want to piggyback on how you talked about you worked for the IRS for 20 years.
Yes.
Like, so how was that transitioning from growing up to getting like a job, like that? That's like a big deal.
I've always had work ethics. When I was a little girl, my grandma used to take us to go look for cans. Girl, she had us in the garbage cans. She had us walking up and down the street looking for cans. So she instilled work ethic in me at a very young age. Like, turning 16 for me was exciting because I could get a job and make my own money. Like, I wanted a job. So, I always was out there working, always out there seeking, just like I'm out here meeting with you all. I've never been afraid to go, like, I've jumped out of an airplane. So, I've never been afraid to go and seek. Working for the IRS was the best thing could have ever happened to me. Ended up just stumbling on it, got fired from a job. They did me wrong, and that's why I tell people, when something happened in your life and you know you were wrong, a blessing coming out of it. So got fired from a job that these people did me wrong. I'm talking about, it knocked me down. 2 weeks I laid in the bed, cried, looked in the paper, let me go find me a job, Found the IRS, started out as a grade 3, y'all, making $9 an hour. I resigned from my job in 2021, making $100,000. Wow. Out here, and now I'm doing my own business. I walked away from it because I realized I had gotten there on survival. Like, I got there on survival, not knowing who I was. I was the president of the union. I audited people for the IRS. I done sat at the tables with CFOs, CEOs. Like, there was a company, I was a janitor, worked in janitorial. When I was young, I ended up sitting at the table with the owner, audited him. I said, you know what? You got a building over there on such. He looked at me. I said, I used to clean up for y'all. And I ended up auditing the owner. So, in working for the IRS, during like 2011, my coworkers nominated me to be the president of the union, right? And these were white folk. Let me just say that. I want to say that from white folk.
In Memphis.
In Mississippi. Because, see, I worked in Atlanta, Dallas, and Tupelo, Mississippi. So I've always been one that would speak up. If something wrong, I'm going to say something. I don't care. You can be my friend. I'm not going to sit back and just be quiet. I'm the one, girl, you're wrong. You're wrong for that. So I will always speak up at the job when I saw management do something incorrectly, because I had prior experience. And this new position I had started working in 2011 was a new location, and the other employees, they were new. I was the vet. So I would always speak up in the group meetings and stuff. And so they nominated me to be the president of our union. The president of the union represented the IRS employees, if they had any grievances, if their rights were violated. And a guy named Wes Johnson told me, he said, Yolanda, he said, I want you to go out and campaign, because I had to go out and campaign and, do the whole election thing. He said, don't try to be no Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama. He said, be Yolanda Crump. Do you, it works. And I got a shirt to this day, do you, it works. Like, aww, that gave me so much confidence. And I used to always say, I ain't the smartest person. He said, Yolanda, why you say that? I said, because I got some C's on my college transcript. He said, that don't mean nothing, girl. He said, you're one of the smartest people I knew. Like, that gave me confidence, because I I tell people, having 2 children by the time you 17, going out here in this work, you don't know who the hell you are. You're just trying to survive. And COVID for me made me realize, oh my God, these people can do this to me. They can change my life overnight. Sitting in the house for me made me look inwardly and say, I got here on survival, going out looking for a job. It's a difference than when you know who you are and you have a purpose and your passion. Baby, I drove all day yesterday to get up here. You hear me? Ain't gonna leave here and go somewhere else. People like, you doing it by myself. Got the energy to do it. That's when you know that's your purpose. That's when you know that's your passion. When baby, look, got the energy for it. I'm 45. You hear me? I got the energy for it. Gonna go wherever. I go work out every day because I'm getting out here. I'm building BougieWild, bringing awareness to my purpose. Like, I didn't go through everything I went through not to be able to share it with y'all. You know, I got a son that's 30. I got a son that's 28. I have one that's 17 and one 15. I have 4 grandchildren, working on my 5th one. You know, I speak about life from a humble, transparent, and vulnerable place. I have conversations I wish somebody would have had with me. Yeah. I'm like, why they didn't say nothing? Why the older people didn't tell her?
Yeah.
Why nobody talk about things? You know, that half of the time we go out in this world seeking validation. Say, I don't compare. Yes, we do. They taught us in school to compare. What you think they were doing when they brought us in the auditorium and said he made an A, they made it, you know, on the road citizenship. They conditioned us like that. So I'm just bringing awareness through it with my brand, and my brand is about empowerment because I got criticized. This is not something that I created. The universe gave it to me.
Yeah, so I know you said you do motivational speaking. So, like, what's one of your main tactics of, like, bringing awareness to BougieWild? Like, what's some of the things, like, you go out and do for your brand?
I do a lot of podcasts. Like, that's the number one thing that I'm doing right now. It allows me to get on you all's platforms, you know, podcasts. And then I go out and host different events. Speak at different events. Anybody that'll have me, because I don't mind talking like, hey, y'all, my name Yolanda, you know. And I do on my platform, I do recordings. Like, I'll record when I have a revelation, and I'll just talk into a voice recorder, and then I take that content and just drop it on my website, you know, on my page, just like believing in yourself and, you know, facing your fears, doubts, and insecurities. Just different topics that hit me. I just share it.
You lit, you famous.
So I'm recording right now.
So you know, that's one of the things I do, and then just put motivational information out. I'm actually in the process of writing a self-help journal, unlocking the Holy Spirit in you, facing your fears, doubts, and insecurities through my own transparency, through telling people how I did it, because, like I said, we're all conformed in a way, and I'm a strong person of the Bible from a spiritual standpoint. Like, I read it for myself. I'm not, you know, claiming any religion or denomination or anything like that. I read it for myself, and in reading it for myself, it's in us, it's through us, it's as us. Like, the Bible is a roadmap, no different than when I put in my GPS when I left Mississippi that I'm going to Chicago. Then I pull up. Then am I here?
Yeah.
I follow the roadmap, right?
Yeah.
I pulled up. It's the same way with the Bible. We ain't number farmers, baby. Plant your seeds in this. I'm telling you, plant your seeds and watch your crop.
That ain't no joke, cause that ain't no joke, cause I just came from Atlanta, and I had to go out there by myself.
Right.
I had to get a hotel room by myself. I had to pay my flight by myself.
Right.
I had to inbox them people by myself and make my presence to talk to them by myself. Like, you can't wait on nobody, and we be our own biggest critic.
Right.
By just being hesitant, allowing outside stuff infiltrate what's meant for God want us to do.
He didn't give us no spirit of fear. I'm telling you, none.
Love, power, and love, and a sound man.
Yes,
definitely. I definitely agree. So, how do you feel about, what advice are you giving to, like, the generation that's coming up? Like, the women that's coming up, it's a fast life going on. They seeing all social media, everybody want to be rich, everybody seeking money. All they care about is my man on money, my man on money. Who got the flash dude? Who got the flash woman? Like, so through all this confusion that the devil been like putting with the younger generation, just trying to strike us all out, where do we go to get a breath of fresh air? Like, how?
Let me just say this: it didn't start with social media. It was happening before social media.
Yeah.
We went through it too. Let me just say that first of all, we went through it too with friends, family. It was a rat race. When we enter into the world, full of fear, doubt, and insecurity. We were taught in elementary to compete, so we were conditioned that way. My advice to you all is get to know who you are. Love yourself. Like, get to know who you are. The Bible said keeping your eyes on God. God, the man in the mirror, you hear me? You gotta keep your eyes on yourself. You gotta focus on what's your plan. Don't get distracted about what's going on around you. Because the same thoughts that you having and they having, everybody got that little voice in your head that nobody hears. You know what I'm talking about? The one that they try to tell us we crazy because we hear it. You hear me? You gotta train that. You gotta make sure that that's doing what you said you gonna do. When you get distracted by what's going on the outside because you ain't doing what your spirit telling you to do. You understand? I'm telling y'all this from my own experience. That's why you get distracted about what's going on with everybody else. Because if you doing what you need, you think I got time to worry about what folk and I'm out here driving to Chicago and gotta try to see the Rapids tomorrow, and you ain't got time to be worried about what nobody else do. But when you sitting up allowing the fears, doubts, and insecurities in your head, and you watching other folk, that's how you get distracted. So the first thing is loving yourself and knowing yourself, knowing what your gift is. We all got them. The Bible says y'all gifts will make room, won't it? I'm talking about the word is for real. So you got to love and know who you are. And how you do that, go back and get to know that person before the world got a hold. I'm talking about 6, 7 years old. 8, what did you do when you were by yourself and you were playing? You remember that imaginary friend we played with? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So love and know yourself. Get to know who you are. A lot of us don't even know ourselves. We're been got a whole, ooh, you look funny. Ooh, you laugh funny. We get to changing everything about us. We don't even know who we are. Okay. Other thing, trust yourself. Feed the word. You got to feed the word, because see, we were born into a world of sin. And you're like, what you mean by born into a world of sin? The world of sin we were born into was the mindset, the environment, the conditioning of our parents. A lot of stuff that we doing and that happened to us, that had nothing to do with us. Like, I realized I had become somebody because of how I was conditioned. You got to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind and start downloading that word in your mind so you can implement it. Because the Bible ain't nothing but a motivational book, y'all. That's all it is. It's a roadmap. Like, every motivational speaker you listen to, they talk about the word. That's the principle of it. So you got to trust yourself. How you trust yourself is you download what you need in your mind. You train your mind, because if you don't, it'll betray you. That, your mind will betray you. That's why I be saying you can't do that. Have you doubting and all of that. So trust yourself. Trust your own opinion. We got to go get everybody else's opinion. Girl, what you think about this? What you think, girl? So you got to trust yourself. If your spirit is telling all my life, if your spirit telling you to do it, you don't need nobody approval. Because let me ask y'all this: every time you don't do what your spirit tell you to do, and something happen, I ain't something told me to do that. Yeah. You got to trust yourself. Because ain't nothing more frustrating than being mad at your damn self. You hear me? You can't blame nobody. Then you don't even want to tell nobody because you're ashamed. Because that little voice in your head, you went against it. You hear me?
So how you protect yourself? Because as further you progress in life and the closer you get on your God journey, the devil be coming left and right trying to mess you up, like balance. Mm-hmm. So how you protect yourself? You got to remain in line. Our spirit, we're nothing but balls of energy, right? We're nothing but, y'all agree? We're balls of energy. So, when you feel uncomfortable, if I came in here looking at you crazy, you'd be like, oh, what's wrong with her vibe? We balls of energy, so you pay attention to it.
Pay attention to your energy. If something don't make you feel right, you say how you recognize it. You know how something make you feel, don't it?
Yeah, but sometimes the devil talk to you too. Like
That's why you got to train your mind. When you train the devil, let me tell you this: the devil is fear, doubt, and insecurity. That's the root of it. Fear, doubt, and insecurity bring chaos, discord, conflict, irritation, aggravation, frustration. If you in that pride, envy, jealousy, if you operating in that energy,
to the 7 deadly sins.
You hear me?
Yeah.
If you operating in that energy, you know you got to be real with yourself. But hey, look, I'm on some devil shit. I'm on some devil stuff.
Yeah.
If you operating in that, because God is basic, love, joy, peace, and laughter. It's that simple. But if you know you are, because the world is full of chaos, people tend to deflect what they got. If I'm full of chaos, that's what I'm gonna deflect on you. So you got to know what you are embodying. You got to be real with yourself and be able to heal and be self-disciplined. That's just like if you go out there and pick a banana off a tree and it swell your eye up, you gonna eat the banana again. Mm-mm. If you go and you eat some shrimp and your throat close up and somebody get an EpiPen to you quick enough, you gonna eat that shrimp again. But we do that with our spirit.
I know somebody that still do it. They'll just have a Benadryl next to them. And
Right.
Still eat the shrimp.
So, but that's how we have to look at it. We have to realize the things that cause us chaos, discord, conflict.
Yeah.
We can't handle everything and we can't handle everybody.
Yeah.
Especially as women, we want to be with that man and we say, he taking me down through there. A lie, you taking yourself down through there. You got to know your power. You say you got to know your power and you got to know what energy you operating in. And you got to be yourself. You got to be your authentic self without fear of rejection or condemnation. Period.
Yeah,
Like
I definitely agree. Cause what I have insecurities about stuff, but it's something in me that I can't deal with thinking about. What if I didn't do it? I just can't. I just can't do that. I'll be walking to something scared, shy, and everything.
Right.
But I rather did that than to be like, dang, I just missed out on this opportunity. Like that really messes me up. So I agree.
Yeah, I was on my way up here yesterday and I was like, it feels good to do what I said I'm going to do.
Yeah, it do.
It's a great feeling.
Keep a promise to yourself.
Yeah.
It definitely do.
It's a great feeling. And the whole, like I said, my whole message is about evolving and becoming the best version of yourself. And society will try to condemn you, but it's not about society. It's about you. It's about you. It's about the man in the mirror. I mean, all of the instructions that God did. God was a creator. You got to create. God can make all things. You got to make it. We've been conditioned for so long. We waiting on God. God is not on the outside. It's in you. You got that power. That light, the same energy that's in the sun is in you and me. The same energy that's in the wind, in the ocean, it's in us. And the power that we have and the energy that we have is we have to watch what energy we put out, because just like the sun rises every day and it sets, right? And the earth is constantly moving. It come back. It come back.
Yep.
Daylight come back every day.
Yeah.
So what you putting out there, it gonna come back.
Yeah.
So the fear of God is the fear of the energy you put out there. Put good energy, live good, feel good, do good, know good, recognize the good. So when you were saying, how you know? The devil sometimes, if it ain't good, all that is God is what? Good. If it's not good, and a lot of times we want stuff that's not good for us.
Yes, we do. Ain't that stupid? That is so
But
stupid.
we've been conditioned that way.
Yes.
That's
Or you
so
convince yourself because you want it so badly, like, oh, it ain't that bad, but you ain't got no
And then
business
you
saying
end up
that,
tricking
doing
your
that.
man, like, you know what, if I do this, then it's gonna come out good. And look, it might do come out good, but then a whole bunch of bad just came right behind it. Like, you forced yourself to make the situation good. So I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the change of note, before we leave off the show, did you try any food up here yet?
I have not. Y'all need to tell me where to go.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well,
Do you eat meat?
I do.
Okay. No, just as it's a lot of good veggie and vegan spots out here too.
okay.
But Like, get you a beef from somewhere. It's Portillo's here. I don't know if you had Portillo's.
You gotta do Harold's. Get some good chicken with mayo sauce. We put the mayo sauce on the chicken out here. You could do Uncle Remus too, but she on the south side, y'all. So you gonna do Harold's. Go to Harold's, get you like a good 6-piece with some fries. Make sure you ask for mayo sauce and lemon pepper, and they gonna hook you up. Italian beef. What she go get Italian
Portillo's.
beef? Over here
Or
though.
Lawrence. Yeah, this one downtown. And this one out. Well,
I'm seeing this one out south too. It's
on 90. No, it's not on 95th. I don't
who
know
over
where
here
it's
sell
at outside.
Italian beefs?
She need a Portillo's beef.
So what's an
Portillo's.
Italian beef? It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich on bread with like shredded beef and cheese dipped in like a soupy gravy sauce with peppers and stuff on it. It's like a Chicago food.
I'll be back because a guy I met last night, he does a lot of open mics and stuff, and so I'm gonna come back and
Where you end up going last night?
freehand. I just went to the hotel and checked in last night, and they had open mic going on.
Nice.
And I walked in, and I'm like, "What y'all doing?" He was like, "You want the mic, baby? I stay ready for the mic. You hear me? Give me the mic." Like, walk through the door. Let me put these bags down.
So what you do on your mic? You did like a poetry? Or
Yes, well, my music ain't nothing but poetry. You know,
Yeah.
without music, it's poetry. With music, it's a song. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I just, Free to Be Me is one of my pieces I wrote, and it comes from a young lady. Well, a lady saw me one night out. She wanted me to join her women's club, and by the time the night was over, she had some judgmental comments to say to me, and I let her know, that what you saw in my energy is I'm free to be me. Is what you see in my energy. I'm real with myself. I don't conform to society. I'm free to be me. It's the only way for me to stay true to my identity. I'm free to be me. I'm a person of integrity. That's something that's not recognized in society. I'm free to be me. It's the only way. It's the key to my serenity. I don't conform to social norm. I'm doing me. I'm working to become the best version I can be, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Don't you see it's the recipe to live happily, joyfully, peacefully? I live with myself. I deal with myself. I'm real with myself, and I don't worry about nobody else. So don't you see I'm okay with me? It's what you see in my energy. It's not about popularity, because I'm free to be me.
What?
That's a
Yes, that's lit. Okay, so on that note, y'all heard her, Yolanda Crump BougieWild. Please tell everyone where to contact you.
You all can find me on all social media platforms at BougieWild. That's BougieWild. One word. BougieWild is a compound word, y'all. When you take two words and put it together, it's a compound word. You also can find me at BougieWild.com. And Google me. You can Google BougieWild. It's a registered trademark. That's mine, baby. It's my serial number. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
All that.
All right, and thank you for tuning in to the L Podcast again. Make sure y'all tune in to the next episode next week, and we out.
Soliciting and gambling. Get down, little mama.